And just like that, the song ended very abruptly, and and we're live. This is highly articulated. It's Saturday night, so it is the Knights of the North tonight. I've gone full Sir Gideon for this episode. Um, I've just been so inspired just by this Necronominus wave. So we're gonna jump right into it. I've got a couple of the knights with me tonight. We've got Ray, aka Figgy Smalls. We've also got the tiny Johnny, who's chosen to go vertical with his phone and sit really far back. So
and wear the hat backwards. He's edgy. It's edgy, man. Mythic Legions, baby.
Is that better?
There you go. You look good anyways, man. You look good anyways. I've decided to go as that Asian knight guy. Going right into it, to be honest with you, I thought it was a girl.
Really?
Was I the only one? And I'm like, okay, that's a cool knight girl.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll get right into that stuff later, man.
We'll get
What's
right
going
into that.
on? What's up, everybody? Hello.
Quickly check the comments here. There's more people watching than usual, which puts undue pressure on me. Usually nobody's paying attention. So, Charlie, what's going on? Patty's here. Caitlin is here. My suspicion is CJ is probably watching as well. CJ is feeling a little under the weather, so we send our sort of best wishes that he gets better soon. I messaged him today and said, great job on those soft goods.
Yeah.
The both of them. I mean, the soft goods look phenomenal. We'll get into that in a lot of detail, I'm sure. Facebook user says, "Hey folks, is that Trevor?
Any bets? No, Trevor's here. I think I'm looking at is it Jay? No, is it Jay?
I'm pretty sure Jay's on here, but
it's Jay. It's Jay. Sorry, I looked at it right now. It's confirmed it's Jay.
All right.
He's driving right now. Be safe, buddy.
Yeah, this is going to be a weird one if you're driving because there's going to be a lot of visuals.
Oh, man.
Now, if for whatever reason my Facebook was getting a bit twitchy, so I think there's going to be a lot of this going on. Facebook user says greetings. Alex says Ted Lasso.
It's that Jim. Yeah.
Never watched that show. I've heard it's good, but when I pull up the Facebook user ones, if you guys are watching it on Facebook, just let me know who it is. If you feel like it, you can also go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and allow your name and your avatar to pop up, which is great. If you're like Jay and you refuse to do that, that's fine too. No pressure, but do it.
We just want to make sure that when you do that, your credit is good because that's how we use your credit card info and all that stuff when you say yes. Oh, no.
Let's get right into it. I was thinking we'll go in the order that they were revealed. With one kind of exception. We will.
How were they? You're gonna have to do. I don't even know who came first, to be honest. But yeah,
it was. Well,
we'll go over the packs first because the packs are kind of quick and easy. We'll get right into it. The packs are easy. So we got the skeleton hand and foot pack. We got the knight weapon pack. And we got the knight hand pack.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of those? Are you guys gonna pick those up, or the one thing that I sort of realized is that they're including more hands with the figures anyway. So like the standard knights come with both the horizontal hinged wrists as well as the vertical hinged wrists.
Sorry, could you do that again? I didn't catch it.
No, I'm not doing it again. You know why I'm not doing it again? I didn't want to do it the first time, but that being said, we do get the fist hands, and we do get the sort of emotive hands, or I don't know what you want to call it, the gesticulating hands.
Oh, that sounded okay. Yeah. Let's. I don't even know where do we find these.
Oh, here, let me. I can pull them up. That's.
Oh wait, I got this one. Hold on, stand by. So let me. pull me up if you want.
So we got.
Oh, is that you? Okay.
Yeah. So we got the skeleton hands and feet pack, the Knights of Aetheron weapons pack as well, the Knights of Aetheron hand pack. I think these are great. I mean, they're if they're in your budget, I mean, these are just great packs to have. They're certainly
$14.
Yeah.
All 3 colors to match every single knight you could have in your collection.
for the weapons pack. Oh, come on.
Yeah, the weapons pack's a little bit more.
The weapon. Oh, sorry. The hands, I'm like, not so much, but it's good for photography. If you I was just trying to take a picture of something earlier, and the guy was trying to hold this thing. The hands, they don't really. I mean, I don't know. Why not?
I think they're great for other figures too. So, like I said, we're getting more extra hands in the loadouts as it is now. But that being said, there's a lot of figures that we probably all have in our collections that don't have, the different hinge, the vertical hinge or the gesticulating hands. There's sort of a more open hand too that could hold something sort of palm up, I think too, which would look really good. The hands of foot are I just think they're great just to have. Even if you only use a few of them, you probably end up using like a couple of the pieces often, and then some of the pieces never, just based on preferences and stuff like that. But that being said, I mean, the price is right. And like I said, if they fit your budget and you can sort of sneak one into your order, why not?
At least one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That weapon pack, come on. Like, because I mean, it's not, it's kind of pretty bare. And can I just mention, like, I think I talked to you guys about this stuff right here, right? The sheaths, the sword sheaths and the dagger sheaths. Like, to me, that like brings it up like here.
Yeah.
And oh man, now we have the dagger sheaths. It's crazy, bro. Absolutely madness. So, I'm picking one of those up for sure.
You do get, I mean, there's a lot of new stuff. That spear is new. That hammer is new. Both of those shields are new. And those shields too are going to be interchangeable. So going forward, when we get the 3D sort of sigil style ones, those the sort of circle in the middle there, those pop out, and that's where those 3D sigil pieces.
Good Lord, that's just, come on, man. That's so nice. How about you, Johnny? What do you want? Are you getting something like that? I know you're getting like 3 or 4 of them. Yeah, I know you're getting 3 or 4 of them, but
you know what? I always see that one custom on like the Cabal or something like that, and you're like, oh man, I wish I had those hands. And then you have your chance right now to grab them, especially with the undead ones. That's just screaming like customs everywhere. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
You're pretty in the know in regards to the second or the aftermarket for these things. So some people kind of like to do it for like trades and all that good stuff, right? Yeah. The hand packs and the feet packs from the prior, like I guess it started with Alithia. No, it started with Arethyr. Are they going for good money?
Yeah.
Advent of Decay had all
Did
those
they have some?
packs, and those go pretty good.
Weapons packs usually
packs are different,
weapons packs always go for high afterwards. Like people always trying to buy them. Hands packs, they're okay.
Yeah.
If you you ask Mike at E-Collectibles, I'm sure they sell out pretty quick. Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
I like it.
Now that's kind of like an appetizer or like a palate cleanser almost, because that's, those are great, but that's, no one was like, oh, I can't wait till they reveal the hands pack. I don't think that was the main draw. So like I said, let's get right into it, and we'll do it in the order that they reveal the figures, because I think it kind of has a natural, there's sort of a natural progression to it, I think, in terms of build up to, well, spoiler alert, Necronominus is going to be last. So that's...
I didn't know. I haven't seen the show.
No, there, I don't think. But they started off the show with Sir Elijah, and Sir Elijah is a really great looking figure.
AKA Anderson Silva. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Anderson Silva as a Templar Knight in a color that we haven't seen a Templar Knight in. Like, the armor looks to be sort of a dark gunmetal gray.
Yeah.
and just a great looking
On
figure.
a new helmet, yeah.
A new helmet, like a very that reminds me of Monty Python.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he gets that new hammer, the new shield. I think they called it the kite shield. So going forward, that'll be the
true,
kite
yeah.
shield.
Come on, man. Come on.
Full soft goods where there should be soft goods. So the tunic as well as the skirting is fully wired. CJ
Who's
Jessup.
this? Jay says might get one. You should get like 7, buddy. This is how far have we gone? This should be like a $70 USD figure with all the soft goods in it. I can't believe it. I don't want to start off the show by like talking about Hasbro and stuff like that, but it's just how is this not $70 in my I'm not even asking. That's why I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna pick up doubles, triples, quadruples. I don't even know.
And the face here, the little face. You can actually swap it out. You can actually take off the hood. You can swap the face. So with everything going forward, this is going to be like your standard chainmail head. So you can use that with the undead face. You can use it with if you guys are getting like that new Attila Lear Dissel, the 2-pack. You can swap that head in there too. So you can get the smiling face. You can get the one all scarred up. So this is basically your builder too. Like you can swap this endlessly with whatever's coming out. Yeah.
And that's why, man. Come on, like it's just, I don't know. I might get 6. I told you guys I'll get 6, but I don't know. Or is that the horse? I don't know. This one I love. I have a special place for Templars. So special that they're not even out there. Yeah, it's so special they're not even on my shelf. But I love. That was actually, I would say, like one of the first things that I got into with Mythic Legions, and I'm like, damn, those Templars are sick. And the soft goods like that, if you get them from like Max Bird or somebody else, oh man, it's gonna be so expensive, right? But I mean, it ups the figure like tenfold, and these things are not hard to or not easy to make, I should say, right? But I can't believe we're getting everything for what is it, $37 or something? USD?
37 US, yeah.
Come on.
From Source Horseman or shop. Storehorseman.com.
To give you an idea, like the soft goods on this guy, I don't know if you guys can see it okay. This alone was like almost $20 just for the soft goods.
Here, I can pull it up.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I can bring you up here.
Thank you, sir. Like
Ed is saying, oh, hey, Trevor, what's up, man? Shouldn't you be getting smashed into Trevor Williams over there?
Yeah. As you guys can tell, I'm the rookie here. I'm not the best at this stuff, but yeah.
I was waiting for somebody who's actually at Legions Con to sort of chime in, because there's a few people. Trevor was one of them that I thought might pop in for a little visit here. Scott Baker is another one that nice. May pop in at some point. Just because I see their names pop up on the comments pretty often. But yeah, Saturday night at Legions Con.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to be doing this. If we go to Legions Con, we're going to be doing a Saturday Night's Live from Legions Con.
Oh, and that's right?
That might be a mess.
From like a Wendy's?
It'll be fun for us at the very least.
No, it's what is it called? The bone grill or something? The fishbone grill?
The bonefish? Yeah. Or the whatever, yeah.
I think that's where everybody went. And everyone's drinking the Mythos beer. You got to get the whole theme going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg's here too.
Yes, Greg.
Ah, there he is. What's up, buddy?
Sorry, a little bit late. Good. All right.
Did you
good?
Did you nap a little too long?
Yeah, exactly. The old man nap just went on and on. Hey, Johnny, how's it going, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, man. No, if you go to that thing, I don't know if you guys have been to Quebec before, but the beer you need to drink is Maudit. So it's like it's the haunted canoe with like the demon on the front. So yeah, you have to drink that if you're there. Yeah, we gotta smuggle some across the border.
Jeez, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that stuff. It's got like the. I'll see if I can dig up the picture for it. It's got like the. It's got the most wicked label. The beer is shit, but the label.
They have that. We can get that out in BC. They do the. They do like all the different packs. They do like a multi pack of that. But yeah, that's. You're absolutely right. The beer aside, the packaging for that is great.
It's kind of like the meatloaf of beer. You know, the album cover is awesome. The music, but the cover is amazing.
Charlie said, personally, Sir Elijah is my most anticipated. The cloth tunic, the hammer, shield, and the helmet are so good. Counterpoint, Miko, I am getting tired of the Templar look, but everything else is great.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't love the Templars. It's not. It's
heresy,
sacrilege.
Well, yes, precisely. Kind of why.
But it's not even. It's okay. Is it because of the tunic? But it's not. It's completely different. It's soft goods.
Is it the Christmas color scheme?
It's so it's two things.
It's a darker. I'm looking at it right now. It's a darker armor with some
proximity
gold
to historical accuracy, and color palette are the two things that. I like
brand new belt. Does it have a sheath?
This is how I looked at it. Like I look at it, I kind of start all in, and then I go, okay, what would I add to an all in? Like what do I want two of, and does that mean I subtract something from an all in? And that's kind of how I work, right? I go, okay, one of everything, but then what do I want more of, and then what do I like? So we'll get there, but like just as a reference, Sir Adalric, I want more than one of, which means the Templars out.
I see what you're saying.
Okay.
But also, too, what's going to be interesting is when at some point they show what's below the tunic, right? Because when you see what's underneath there, like when I watched the stream, they didn't show that, right?
But I asked CJ. He said it's actually Sir Aldrich. That base armor is the less colorful, I think. I don't know what color it's going to be, though. Hopefully it's gray, so you could like take it off.
Hopefully it's that gunmetal metal,
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Be cool.
That was my presumption, is that it probably matches whatever color the rest of the armor is. Like, I don't think that they would just go generic black or something like that. Just on the odd chance that, you wanted to pull that tunic off and use it somewhere else. I can only imagine that I know who this is. Saying, no dinosaurs in this wave, disappointed again.
Yeah, that has to be Jim. It can't be anybody.
I'm pretty sure that's Jim Harnack.
Yeah.
Trevor said I liked all the reveals. Yeah, and that's the thing. I liked all of the reveals. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna pick everything up. Because at the end of the day, everybody's got different preferences. We got different factions that we lean towards. I said this before, and I'll say it again. I'm not a skeleton guy. And I'm not really a knight guy, but if the right one lands, I'm in. What I was most disappointed about this wave was that all the Necronominus figures weren't just plain old skeletons, because that would have made my decision making so much easier. Unfortunately, apart from Necronominus, we really didn't get a normal skeleton as we're sort of used to.
The Grim Reaper is like he's not normal, but he's the closest. Yeah.
I love that 3 photos they did. They have like the full on look with the bone jewelry. Then they had the classic Grim, and then they had the Skelly underneath. Yeah. So I might pick up an extra 1 or 2 of those just so you can rock, like you can use the cape outfit for like a black mage, right? You can use the bones on I was gonna actually pimp up the orc queen. Just have her dressed out with the bones, get that nice like shaman druid look. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna grab 2 of those, and plus, just the scythe is just badass. Looks so cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Is this PG-13, by the way? Can we swear on the show? I'm just.
I don't know. Go for it, pal.
I actually think I already blew through that. So yes.
The second reveal was the Turpiculi. Yeah. Which is just like a wild skeleton beast creature. Multiple arms, multiple blades, some sort of wing-like appendages.
And
you know,
a wired tail, which is cool.
A big crazy tail that's just like, yeah, this, if you're a skeleton guy, this thing's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
The way, so I get a little bit carried away when these all come out, and I start really digging into some of the details. That back piece is wild, because if you can plug all those arms and stuff in, you could really do some cool stuff kit bashing with this, because you could put extra arms and still put wings on, I think.
Yes.
Yep.
Like your possibilities with this thing are kind of endless. Like it's, and that was true with a lot of the figures in this wave. There's a lot of, you know, the last couple waves we've been seeing more and more and more new stuff, new parts, new molds being used, new belts, new accessories. You know, new skull on this. This is, you know, the first of the full, you know, rib cages and on and on and on. What do you guys think of this, Johnny?
Yeah, well, he was actually saying when he designed it, he spent hours and hours looking at real like bones. He was saying how creepy it was if you looked at his laptop in a coffee shop or something, because all it has is like animal skulls and animal bones. And but he was saying a lot of this was like, his inspiration was like, what would he want if he was an 8-year-old boy? Like, this is exactly the toy you want. You want 6 arms. You want that Goro look. You want a tail that moves. You want to have like all the weapons and everything you could possibly do. Like, this is exactly what you'd want for some like really cool villain or monster you got to fight. Like he's a, what do you call it? Like a level boss, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And the parts are awesome. Like I'm gonna have to get 2 because they put in 2 heads, and just the fact that you can swap arms in and out, and like you said, this is a customizer's dream for anything, because it's just an endless amount of opportunities. And just the torso alone, you can just like be swapping on, like you said, wings, bigger arms, smaller arms. It's just gonna be a lot of fun.
Lot of good points here in the discussion. Miko's trying to sell it to Jim. To purchase like almost a dinosaur.
He looks like a dinosaur. Yeah.
Alex said, this is the only one I'm not sold on, but happy for those who want it. Great customizing options. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's kind of one of those that, you know, like Varg was for me, sort of a last minute addition, just because the potential for customizing is massive with this. Jim asks, is this ogre scale? No, it is not. I believe this is just a 1.0 figure.
He looks huge, really. Oh wow.
No, and also apparently the big thing is that the thighs are actually dwarf scale. Which is the first time. So you'll have, so for people who want to make, you know, those dwarven skeletons, whatever, they can actually do it now. With this
so he's pretty small, eh? Okay.
And to tell you the truth, that's my problem with this, is that I don't like, from the waist down, I want him to have long, gangly legs that are hunched over, you know? And like when I look at this, I'm like, it doesn't sit right. But like, I just keep thinking, since those are dwarf thighs, if you got the Reaper and then swapped out the legs, I think I'd like it a lot more. I think it would stretch it out and look, just because those arms are so long too, which I love. Creepy as hell. But I mean, I want him to be taller. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing as soon as you mentioned that, was that if you get the Reaper, you know, you swap these out, and the Reaper's in a cloak too, so you could, I think, get away with like putting whatever thigh on the Reaper under the under the robe, and you wouldn't really miss having, you know, if you put a knight thigh on just to get the length from the Reaper, you wouldn't miss that thigh bone.
And the one thing, like when Trevor is saying here, right, that the shorter legs make a creeper, which I do kind of agree with, if you've got 3 or 4 of them, because then they look like some sort of vermin swarming thing, kind of like what Vorg is. But if you look at it like a standalone character, like I want them tall. I guess it all depends.
I'm gonna have to agree with that. Yep, 100%. The bigger, the better.
Same thing. Would be awesome if the legs were as stretched out as the arms. Slender Man, skeleton beast. Yeah, that's. But you could also, I mean, if you got multiples, you could also have different sizes, right? You could have different arms. You could have different leg lengths, so that you could kind of mix it up. You could have, you know, you could really add to the sort of creepy and grotesque factor, I think, by sort of building out, you know, an army of these. There's a lot of army building potential.
Do you know what he reminded me of? Is that that monster from the Inhumanoids from back in the 80s? Decompose, and he had that opening chest, and you like could throw the good guys in the chest, and they would close up. Like he looks like that. I'm like, man, totally look that.
Trevor,
I was going to say,
though,
okay, sorry.
Get the extra undead builder pack legs on the Reaper, so you could like you could use the extra legs in that pack.
Yeah.
Pull those bone thighs off, and away you go.
Yeah.
Charlie says the best part about this guy is mounting the heads on the staves with the ball joints. Trevor says, think ape. I think this thing runs by sort of launching itself forward with the long arms. Yeah, absolutely. It kind of has those dimensions to it, right? Those the sort of the longer arms, the shorter legs.
Yeah.
Wendigo. Yeah, that's
yeah. If you put some antlers on that guy, he'd be like a Wendigo, like for sure.
The next reveal we got was Sir Adalric, which I think now we'll get, you know, later on we'll get to my favorite figure, but when this popped up, I was like, I don't know that there's going to be a figure that can beat this for me in the wave, because the color, the sort of newness to what we're getting, some of the details, some of the crazy stuff. That plume is really, really cool. The pauldrons are great.
He's a fancy fella.
He's fancy. He's rich. He's fancy.
He's bougie, bro. He's mad bougie.
He's a fop.
No, I love it though. I love it, man. Yeah.
This for me, like, you know, getting back to the Templar versus this, right? This to me is just more fun. There's a little bit more, like, these colors to me are a little more whimsical, for sort of lack of a better word. Like they suit Aetheron a little bit more.
They suit Tampa Bay Lightning.
What's that?
They suit Tampa Bay Lightning.
But again, like I said, sort of getting into some of the detail, like, you know, the detail work on the pauldrons and on some of the parts here is just new and outstanding. Have we seen this elbow configuration before, or is that new?
It's new as well.
Oh, it's new. Yeah.
They're going with more of a seamless joint look as well too. So there's less lines. It should be even better for photography.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And inside the torso. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So there's you know, not a great look at it, but there's the torso, the new knight torso piece with the increased articulation. It's, you know, it's hard to tell what it's going to look like just from these pictures. But it looks fantastic. And I mean, you get all that stuff on there, new straps too, right? Like that.
And that,
that chest strap is new.
Asymmetric look with that heraldic badge on it and stuff too, right?
So we get, you know,
he doesn't get a sword.
Yeah, it's weird. It says it in the bio
He
too. He's like,
pike, I guess. Yeah. Or the mace, I guess. Yeah.
He gets the mace, he gets the dagger, he gets a spear. I'm not like, okay, if this was your first knight that you were ever buying, I could see being disappointed in that. But like, Johnny, how many swords have you got in a bin?
I have a problem. I don't want to talk about it. Like at least 100. Yeah.
Right. So when I sort of look at one of these and I'm like, oh, I wish he had this, or I wish like Kronos. I wish Kronos had, you know, sort of one more weapon. And I went, well, why don't I just look in this bin full of stuff that I have and just find one that suits him? Between like the War of Arethyr builder packs that are coming, between the Knight weapon pack here, and then sort of other figures that I've got, there's no shortage of swords to go with this guy, so I'm not really that worried. And to be honest, I'd rather have him at the standard price point than get bumped up to a deluxe because I want a sword. You know what I mean? Like at some
sword
point
with a sheath, though.
Sure.
No, because a sword is a sword. Like that's nothing new, but the sword
we should just call it a
sheath
scabbard.
is crazy. Yeah.
Scabbard, yeah.
He's honestly though, like it's crazy. He's got the two hands, which I'm trying to see what the difference is. But
and there's also too, like the thing that I love most about this wave and boxes too, is some diversity. Like it's so nice to see, like, you know, different skin tones, different ethnicities. Like, you know, it's just been like, you know, it's been like cake central, like until like, you know, all the way until the last three waves. So it's finally nice to get some variety.
First Asian, right, guys? Like I'm not Chinese, so this for me, I'm like, oh, all right, like an Asian guy. And they made him super rich, and I'm like, okay, right.
There's a crazy rich Asian.
I was gonna say,
like a little bit on the nose, but okay. Yeah.
It's kind of funny too that they, like, I remember that Eric, I think it was Eric, was saying that they based this. I don't know if you guys remember those Sterling Knights. They used to be those little, they're like plastic ones that you get at Mastermind Toys.
I used to have a ton of those. Yeah.
And like that's what the idea was behind this, right? Because they had like all the crazy like teals and purples, and the heraldic stuff was really eye-popping, and that's what he was basing this on. So
pure tournament night style. I like it. Yeah.
Jim said, "What's the increased articulation?" So they've said that there's some different articulation. They didn't show it because they only had prototypes. I'm very curious to sort of see it in action as well, because it's on all of the knights from this wave.
Do you know where you can see it though, which is really interesting? Is take a look at the prototypes in Cosmic.
Yes.
Because it's the same. It's the same mechanics. So the way that they were showing off them doing the cross shoulder, like that's the same. So and on this, if you go back to the rear view of Aldrich or here, there. If I don't know if we can make that bigger or not, but you can see how big that joint is right in the armpit and how it extends out beyond the chest. So I think that's where you're getting all the extra movement from, is that the joint now is actually farther outside of those cuts in like the pits there.
Yeah, I was, with all of them, they have the pauldrons on. I was trying to get, a look at it when I was sort of digging through all these detailed pics and sort of doing what I'm doing now, zooming in on everything and like nitpicking and being like, oh, I wish this had this or whatever. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. There is increased articulation, but let me just where did it go? Charlie did mention this. Did mention that the insignia on the shoulder may prove to be even more problematic with the upwards articulation, though I like the 40K feel of it. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting because certain pauldrons are gonna, you increase the articulation, but then you really armor up a figure, and it may sort of offset, which I'm okay with because there's other pauldrons. We can put some of the smaller pauldrons. You could run them without pauldrons.
Or it's also, the pauldrons could be like, who's the guy from the Alithia wave? I can't remember his name. The hero dude. No, the darker skinned guy, with a darker complexion.
Oh, Lord Baldric?
Baldric, yes. Is that if you notice the connection points on the pauldrons are made of really soft material. So now it reflects, right? Yeah. So if that's the case here, then you can still get some movement out of those things.
Yeah, for sure. And I think they've kind of said that going forward, that's going to be more or less the standard in terms of they sort of changed the plastic a little bit to allow for that.
Yeah.
Miko said, I would have preferred full factions with other ethnicity rather than a tokenized figure here and there.
Yeah. I agree with that too. Yeah. I would have liked to have an Asian wave, like have him in Chinese style, like Middle Ages
Yeah.
armor, and instead of putting like an Asian face in a traditionally Western style armor.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, but it's kind of like I don't know. And I'm Asian,
yeah,
so
I don't know too, because kind of like Aetheron is meant to, like, if we look at what we got from Aetheron, right? We've got a rich aristocratic guy. We got like a stable boy. We got an ogre. We got and then Gideon. So, you know, they're kind of pulling from everywhere. That's sort of the idea of Aetheron, is that it's there's a calling, right? There's a certain you know, it's not for everybody. It's not a it's not a location based faction. It's not
right. Yeah.
So
It's
maybe
more like you're like being a priest, right? Like priests come.
Yeah. It's and so it's you know, I could see that in another you know, in another wave. Maybe there's, you know, once they get through all the factions that currently exist, maybe they go outside of the borders of Mythos. You know, we got Zende with the Poxus wave. Maybe where Zende comes from, there's more people that look like Zende, and maybe they will be a faction, and maybe that will sort of come up in the future. Who knows? But
I think too, there's also some minefields there, which sometimes they try to avoid. And I mean, it's like, you know, you don't want to get into sort of the horrible stereotypical stuff that Lucas did, right? With the prequels, like, you know, it's horrible. Like they made, like, I'm not going to get into it now, but you know, they made characters, even though they're aliens, they're characters with definitely an ethnicity leaning to them.
Yeah.
And they made it stereotypical, right? Which was really, you know, insulting, actually, I think, to like most people. So I think they're probably cautiously entering this, which is kind of sad, because I would rather see them go both feet, but I understand why they do, which is fine. But
this isn't a bad call. You know, ethnic head packs, or you know, a pack of multi ethnicities, so that you could swap them on. You know, if you wanted to have sort of your own little faction within a faction, or your own tribe, or whatever suits your head canon, I guess, in that respect. But Alex touches on something that I've kind of, when we've gotten to the end of going through the details of each of these figures, I've tried to kind of linger on one of Trevor's shots. Alex says, can I just give a shout out to Trevor for these epic picks, though? I think he had like a week with the protos to get all those Diocenes ready and product shots completed. That's pro. Absolutely. And that's, you know, on top of that, right? Like, we get production figures.
Yeah, that's true.
And they pose properly, and they're not made of like fragile resin and you know, paint that could flake off. So what he's able to do with like Paint Masters is pretty remarkable. Because the other thing is the joints aren't mushroom, so the joints are all just a peg. So he's just hoping they stay together, let alone pose up in a way.
Poor little Trevor. You know what? I like to have that problem for a week or two. All right. No, but yeah, good for him, man.
Fair enough.
He's pretty sick. But okay, you know what though? No one's brought this up yet, but now, you know, like when you have the 1.0 or anything that we have, they have those front skirts that you have to take off once you go on a horse. And then you have like this goofy hole there, and then the guy doesn't look like. We don't have to deal with that anymore because we got soft goods. Ones are on a horse.
Yep.
So that's kind of worth mentioning. I think that's pretty awesome.
Need more chicks in this wave. Fair enough. Here's the one. This is, so I'm not a skeletons guy, right? But then they reveal this as a Necronominus figure, and I'm like, oh, come on. Like I said, my life would be so much easier if this was just all skeletons and Templars, and I could give my wallet a break. But the truth is, this thing looks amazing.
This is my favorite fig out of the whole wave.
Wow,
This-
really?
Yeah.
Wow. Big words.
And it's like, because I think it looks fantastic, but also too, and I mean, I think I mentioned this on Trevor's IG post of this, like from a photography point of view,
yeah,
this thing has props for days. Like
absolutely.
it has so much stuff you can use. Like, I mean, you can use it for her. You can use it in some, you know, evil lab, or it goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
And then the dog, come on, like the chimera or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, I mean, and he's articulated, like, you know, you can use this for
It's madness.
mythics, you can use this for a 118 boss fight. Like,
Mhm.
man, like this thing is just value on value. It's so good. So
Absolutely, 100%. The thing is though, how are you gonna like stand it up? You're gonna have to pose it up pretty good.
the dog.
Balance wise.
No, I'm talking about the figure itself. So if you go to the
Yeah.
picture,
Yeah.
keep going.
With the
That one
it's
right
on
there.
the hook. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's kind of like she's doing like the bird and her arm out front,
Yeah.
and then you got the cage in the back, right? So, but you probably have like a fig stand to like make sure, because that's gonna topple over. But it's
I
It's
think
just
it's
gorgeous.
I think because
it's
you
amazing.
have the bird on the front and the cage on the back, you might have a balance point there.
yeah.
You might have a hard time getting any other balance point, but but it may, like, the figure with the accessories may kind of weigh itself out. It might kind of like it may balance itself out. You'll just have to find kind of the arm position that's sort of far enough out to get the leverage. This is just a great, like, again, you get the alternate heads too.
Yeah.
So you get the nose on and the nose off.
Yeah.
Which one you posing?
Which one of these?
Yeah.
It kind of depends. I think they kind of work in both ways. When I see it too, all I see is Ziri from Cosmic.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's
the Ranger. Yeah.
But again, like hands, right? You get hand packs, but I mean, we get 6 hands. You get gloved hands, you get non-gloved hands, and then you get sort of the angry kind of witch type hands. And these are the same as the Pox's hands, so they're kind of bonier and skinnier than the standard hands, which, again, just like.
Yo, hold on. I just noticed that. Sorry, bud. So the cage thing goes up, and then you can take that bone.
Yeah.
You can take. I know.
It's a usable
That's
cage.
What I mean. Can you imagine this sitting on Atticus Doom's desk, on Doctor Strange, like you name it. Like this thing, man.
They did not have to do that. They did not have to do that.
Awesome.
They also
and the details.
they also mentioned that because the cage is a separate piece, and that the snake is essentially, or the snake and the tree is sort of molded is separate pieces.
Oh, okay.
There's a very good chance that the snake and the tree part will be, you can pop them out, so you may be able to have an empty cage as well.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
That's awesome.
But they said that's a problem for Chris, and they didn't really get it. That's a production problem they didn't worry about. They weren't sure whether or not they were able to.
Man, like, check out that belt, like with all the stuff on it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine hanging that on like some sort of wicked looking Zartan or something too? Like it'd be so cool.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, man, this thing is just awesome. I'm so impressed with it.
Yeah, it definitely has that G.I. Joe classified Zartan feel, with the like the monkey paw and the skull.
Yeah, totally.
Like it's definitely got that vibe to me too. And then the whip is sculpted on there as well. And she's a Beastmaster, so that's they mentioned too that she sort of she controls all of these beasts, but she also controls the Terpiculi.
Yeah. Wow. Oh wow, okay.
And also, can I just say too, like I don't know what Trevor does in post processing or stuff, but when I look at this fig, like I'm blown away. Like I can't like it almost looks like something that's been drawn, right?
Yeah.
Like it's so good. Like anyway, I just got this is what stood out to me from all his shots. I think again, what's selling me on it is this is like the best shot, I think, out of all the ones that you could take.
I think just hiring Trevor for anything is going to make your stuff look great.
Yeah, obviously.
Caitlin says, I love her. Is she your favorite? If you're still on with us, Caitlin, is she your favorite figure that you worked on in this wave?
Greg already mentioned that this is his favorite. Why don't we keep favorites to the end, and then we'll go over our favorites at the end, and then we'll have everybody in the comments can start rattling off what their favorites are too, because I think it
Sure.
Because then it's just everybody gets to jump in, and then if it's all in one place, it's easier for me to manage comments wise. Trevor says she's definitely got some baggage. Maybe she's trying to compensate for her lack of a nose.
Ooh.
And Jim asks, will the vulture skeleton fit in the cage? I don't know, but my suspicion is that it probably won't. It seems to be a little bit bigger than what's in the cage there. They reused the skirt we prototyped for Artemis. I noticed that. I thought that too, because I love that skirt from Artemis. And CJ mentioned to us that we've all been displaying them wrong last week. So Alex asked, how do you feel about her sharing the same skirt color as Artemis? I wouldn't mind if it was a different color. You know what? I suspect that it won't be quite the same color. It looks like it's the same color in some of the pictures. Now that being said, I don't know. Maybe Caitlin and CJ would know the answer to that. But maybe it could be a like a production change too. They might change it. It might be a brighter or a darker shade, or it might change over time. I did notice that. I did feel like it was a little too obvious a reuse. So I wonder if there might be some change.
When I first saw this, though, I thought maybe when they got into the backstory, this was going to be like Artemis's twin sister that was turned, because she's a Beastmaster. Artemis is, Lithia, like that kind of thing, right? So I thought that's for sure that's what they were going to go with it. I don't remember what exactly her backstory is, but I don't think they made that connection. But it seems like right there.
Could be. Mike, who is supposed to be on vacation, is nevertheless joining us and chiming in. He says, look at those hats. What's up, Jen? He says, how is Adam's November? I think he means Movember this huge already. Well, you forget, I had sort of not shaven in a long time, and I had the beard too, but I felt inspired by Sir Gideon, and got rid of the rest and left the mustache for now. It's probably coming off like tomorrow morning, because it's annoying. It's annoying. It's gonna get a trim at the very least. But the next figure up, Mike joined us just in time, because I know that this was Mike's favorite by far. Sir Gideon Heaven's Brand version 2, a very worthy upgrade to what was already a pretty great figure. Thoughts on this guy, Ray?
I hate him. No, I was joking. He's the greatest figure ever made, man. What else can I say? Yeah, at least I don't have to pay $400 through the other one.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'd feel bad for paying $400 for that one, because I feel like this is worth like $600. What's not to love? He's he a faction leader? I don't even know. He's not a faction leader, but is he like?
Yeah, he's a faction leader.
He's like, okay. So he fights for Etheron, I guess.
Yeah. Trevor, quickly, just does anyone know if you can remove the vulture from the wristband? I presume that it's probably like the hawk that we got, where you can. It's probably not designed to be removed, but I suspect that maybe that might be the case. Mike said this re-release saved me $400, and it has CJ Jessam soft goods.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Might get one just because it's cheap. Yeah. Tom Selleck in Legion's form.
Yeah, even that head sculpt, like the unmasked head sculpt, is it looks good. It looks good.
It's
Oh yeah, his weapons too. Holy smokes, man!
well, and I don't know if they said whether this faceplate is going to be removable or not. Not that I really mind, because we get the helmeted plus the helmet removed. But like even down to little details. Sorry, I'm going to bring up a different picture. I'll bring this one up.
So does he get the Heavens brand or a version?
Yes.
Oh
yes.
yeah, and it's all painted up now too. If you look at it,
Crazy!
it's gorgeous.
Look at that.
Nice.
Yeah,
And he's got a
it's the
sword
same
sheath.
as the old. Yeah, it's similar to the old one. I think they just pimped it up a little bit more on the handle.
It's very
those two little triangles that split out just right where the blade starts. I don't think those are on the original. I think the original comes up more like a claw.
Right? Here, sorry, where is it? Right. There.
Yeah, there's
it does have it.
Oh, they have it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's
and the scabbard's amazing.
That they changed. They added that blue, which I think looks phenomenal. Like that blue just adds like a little bit more like dynamic sort of depth to the figure instead of just being white.
Yeah, white and gold.
Yeah. I'm just glad they included it with the sword. Like the old figure didn't come with the sword.
Yeah.
Like it took me like years to track it down. Yeah. Like I ended up having to pay almost like I think I paid $75 for that sword and the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I know that I'm going to be selling my version 1 for sure.
Wow.
Because I don't need it anymore once I get this. I'm like, why would I hang on to it? You know, some completists will want it, but whatever. You know, the one thing is like this, like that I do find a little distracting is that the eagle on it reminds me of like the German eagle. Like it looks so much like if it were black, not the Nazi one, but it reminds me of like
Kaiser Gideon.
It's like it's like a classic German eagle. I'm kind of like, but you know.
Oh, great! You ruined it for me, man. Now I can't think of anything else but.
No, come on. Eagles are in heraldry all over the place.
Yes,
it's just don't let one bad apple spoil a bud. Like that's
no, it looks good. It looks good.
Accessories are awesome. I completely agree, but I think the figure. So this is one of those ones where like when I started zooming in, and I'll see if I can find like what did I think was the easiest picture to get it at. So look at that pauldron with the Aetheron head.
Yeah.
Look at his elbows. The elbows have wings with the eagle heads on the back.
Yeah.
The forearm is totally unique. The shin is totally unique.
Yeah, they actually said like this was one of the first figures they designed on the original wave, and they took it as a point of pride to go back and like take like the OG figure and just absolutely show off everything they've learned and could do on it.
Wow!
And if you look at the new one, it's just so much better in every single way, from the soft goods to the coloring. Just that blue, look how it just pops out from the gold background. And just it's gorgeous, man. I can't wait. I'm gonna get 3. I think I'm gonna get 1 for the main guy, and the rest could be guards. Like,
What I can't
it screams good guy, right?
Yeah, totally.
Screams good guy.
Well, that's what a sword does. Apparently, if he cuts you with the sword or hits you with it, it like purifies you. So if you're evil and he hits you with it, you're good. And if Necronominus, I am terrible with the names. If he hits you with the scythe or touches you, you get corrupted and become evil. So it's literally like good and evil on both sides of the coin. Yeah.
I can't wait to put the Archangel's golden wings on this. To see how
yeah.
We have
it's a little light on the wings.
That
no wings. Yeah,
that was so. Again, if there's things we were disappointed with in the wave, no wings. But we'll get to that at the end if we get through all the reveals. The sword sheath is unique too, right? So not only do we get the Heaven's Brand sword, we get the sheath to put it in, which is unique, which looks awesome. I can't wait to see like how it, because it's on the figure, but you never really get a proper sort of representation of how it's going to sit on your shelf when you're looking at sort of the prototype pics. That's sort of the only unfortunate thing about the prototype pics is that you don't get all the nuances and all the detail. But all in all, just an absolutely fantastic figure. What are we looking at here in the comments?
You see this? See the soft goods too, with the imprint, the print on the thing. Oh, it's so nice, man.
Yeah.
It's so pretty. Like it looks amazing.
And does he have like a little, like a double like belt thing on his chest or what?
Oh, he's strapped, all right.
Double strapped.
No, 100%. Yeah, I think that looks new. I've never seen that before.
No, both of those straps are new for this wave.
How about his neck piece?
Well,
What's
Mike
that?
is sticking it to Adam in the comments.
I like it a lot, but when I saw it, I knew we were not getting it.
Yeah.
Oh, did you want an Aetheron 2.0?
Oh no, they said they're gonna do it. The next wave's gonna be like the Great Beasts, who are like the opposing faction to the Four Horsemen. So you're gonna have the white deer. You're gonna have Therion, the giant eagle. You're gonna have that big lion for Leodicius.
Yes.
And yeah, I know I'm forgetting one. I don't know what the other one is. I can't remember. Yeah.
Alex said, I love all these new digit shields. I don't know what that means. That the half giant accessory pack, Attila, Gorgonzola, all the 3D. The Xylernian Guard also comes with the Xylonus Flock 3D sort of faction shield. They look fantastic. Not functional at all. I mean, can you imagine the weight and like they'd get caught on everything? But they look good.
Yeah.
I thought the undead guys had undead, or the good guys had undead faces too. They
do.
Not this one though.
In the pictures. If you go on storehorseman.com and look at them, they actually show them on there as well, and they will be included with these figures. They haven't included them in the pictures. I'm not entirely sure why. My suspicion is Trevor didn't have them to photograph them, because I think it was kind of a last minute addition, is what they kind of were saying, is that like when they looked at the wave and they sort of thought about, you know, how the Necronominus weapon kind of turns people, they thought, well, why don't we have that, you know, able to be represented in the wave? Alex is trying his very best to try to get this right. Love all these 3D sigil shields. Is what he's
you go. Well done.
Can you please give us a close up of the unmasked head? I can.
Someone just zoom into Adam right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's my hair doesn't look too dissimilar to that at the moment. But
look at that, eh? He looks young, but not like too young. But doesn't look too old either. I like that.
No.
Yeah, right in the middle. Looks like he's seen some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, he's seen some shit, but he's in his prime. You know what I mean?
he looks like somebody you'd follow in a battle. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he looks like he knows what's up. He looks like you would trust him. He looks like the kind of guy that would give less of like a rah speech and more of like a quiet, stoic kind of speech that would just stir your heart. Yeah. I think, you know what I mean? That was my impression.
No Braveheart like speech there or anything?
More like Gladiator, kind of like that scene before he jumps in the woods and
Yeah,
okay.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Mike asks, curious what you guys think we will see in the upcoming. We'll get to that. Come on.
Yeah. Great question, Mike.
We'll get that hour 3. Hour 3, we'll get into that for sure. What time is? I don't even know what time it is.
Oh,
I have to rotate my AirPods because they keep dying.
Mike's saying he looks like what's his name? Lots of Mohicans, Gangs of New York.
The greatest actor of all time.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
My Left Foot. Yeah, that guy.
What is his name?
The
Butcher.
Yeah.
DDL.
Yeah, what's his name?
Daniel Day-Lewis. Yeah.
Yes.
Adam thought knights were boring.
That's true.
No, I know.
Yeah,
right?
That's a real quote. Yeah.
I don't think they're boring. I think
they've been brought around.
I think they can be boring. I think
true.
The generic helmeted knights that don't have crazy eagles on their pauldrons and Heaven's brand swords, I think those can be boring. I think, you can army build them and they're fun and they're great. Don't get me wrong. If you're a knight guy, more power to you. get down with your armored self. But I lean more towards different character types than the knights. That's
It's
mustache.
Mustache rides. That's
No,
gotta be Eddie.
no,
Is that Eddie?
no.
No, that's Jay.
Oh.
Moving on from Sir Gideon, the next one up was Bishop, of course, which is sort of his horse, I guess, or that's sort of designed to be his horse.
Oh, come on.
You gotta read the bio on this one. This one's a good bio.
This one is a good bio, and there's there's a lot going on. I'm not going to read the bio, but you should read the bios for all of these because the storytelling, the lore in this wave is pretty phenomenal, and there's a lot going on. So they seem to focus more on the lore of the Necronominus stuff and of like the Necronominus weapons being able to sort of pull people's souls or turn people's souls. But a lot of these bios in the Aetheron side are about bringing people back to the good, or sort of back to life, or back to health, or different sort of things. There was a lot to unpack in these bios.
Like I don't know if you guys played any of the D&D back in the day and stuff, but basically the paladins, right? That's what they did. They just they basically cured people, and then cured people partly by beating the hell out of them. But yeah, it seems like that's where they've gotten the inspiration for a lot of this stuff. Even down like the hammer, like the paladin hammer, the big dude we'll see soon. Yeah. Like he's totally a paladin golem.
Yeah.
I think they might have even listed him as a paladin, but
they did. Yeah.
We'll take a look.
But man, this horse though, like I gotta say, if anything out of this whole wave for CJ and Keith, it's like their masterpiece. Like they killed it with this thing. It's so good.
With the tassels, man. You see the tassels on the bottom?
Yeah. So good, yeah.
Oh,
so good.
Can we just like the Max Bird version of this was like, what was it, $150 Canadian or something?
Yeah.
It was more it's like a horse.
And you didn't even get a horse.
It was more than
crazy.
Yeah. And and I would say that this might be a nicer set.
Oh,
it's got the armor. It has the armor.
This is the best combo.
Yeah.
This is the best rider horse combo of all
time. I may be corrected. She's watching now.
Yeah.
The very talented Keithlin Jessam, or Keithlin Bakani in I think this was like her project. This was like her pet project.
Yeah? Amazing.
She was saying that this was like one of the ones that she kind of did start to finish. Well done. Well done.
Good.
Yeah. Knocked it out of the park.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. We're definitely going to have CJ on the show at some point. We'll definitely get you on here as well, because I think he
She's a little shy, but yeah, one of these days, Keith.
He takes all the credit, but
I know.
But yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. I think a couple of these. If you've already got horses, this is a horse that to me makes sense to get a couple of, because you can pull all the armor off and sort of swap it with a Balius, and then have a multitude of these horses. Because quite simply, like you guys have mentioned, the value in this set, with the soft goods, with the armor, so on and so on, the lance, you're gonna need two if you're gonna have a joust as well, right? So.
And he's gonna be my Shadowfax for the Diamonds.
Oh yes.
For sure.
Exactly.
He's perfect.
So one thing to note is that this very odd piece that just sort of shows up right here.
The hair
is the mane. The mane. So when you pull that armor off, you could put the mane on, and away you go. You've got
look at the lance,
bro. I've been waiting for this. I told you.
Where's the lances, bro? Where are the lances at?
I'm just saying it's over here. But
as well, it does. It absolutely does. They mentioned that all the horses the armor will be interchangeable. That includes Necronominus's horse. So the armor on that horse is very, very unique, and we'll get there shortly. But it will fit on the standard horses as well. Jim said, pretty sure they're exactly the same, just different color. Yep,
Let's hope so.
that's what
Yeah.
they said. So, forgive me if I don't read all of the comments because there are too many. Alex said Bishop is a good white horse for NECA Phantom too. So
Yeah.
a lot of uses for this. A lot of uses for this for sure. We've now got a brown horse in Balius, the sort of dark gray in Boreas, and now white with Bishop. Interestingly enough, they are all their names start with a B. I thought that was probably not an accident. But.
Does that headless horseman horse have a name too? Right? Does it? I haven't opened mine up yet. Does it have a name?
Isn't it called Boreas?
Oh, is it Boreas? Oh, okay.
Steve.
Neil. No, but how about we have the black horse too? But I mean, he doesn't have the Alithia horse doesn't have the face, right? So, or the normal horse head, but that's straight up black.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
Yeah, these guys look sick. Yeah,
this one kind of confused a lot of people.
Yeah.
I
don't.
Do you get four? Do you get one?
How many are in this? This one I don't get.
No, you just get the head pack.
You get here.
No, don't you get? Isn't there one for like 2 bodies, and then there's one for the head pack and the arm pack? I don't understand what you get with what.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on this. This is my understanding of what you get in this pack. You get one torso and sort of one crotch, one set of the wrist armor, one set of the shin armor, and then one set each of the limbs for the zombie and for the ghost. So clear limbs as well as that sort of bluish limbs. And then you get all of this stuff. So, 4 heads, 8 sets of hands, multiple sets of one set of pauldrons, multiple collars.
Yeah.
And then the weapons. So there's you only get one figure out of this pack, but you have lots of extra parts to swap with other builders that you might already have.
And what was the price point on this?
55.
This was 55. Yeah, so it's a deluxe. It's a builder price.
So that means that's going to be probably like 74 when Mike has it up, something around.
Yeah.
I think when Ray was mentioning second market packs and how much this is going to be it. This pack was going to have for anything going to use. If you're a D&D fan, this is your undead. This is your necromancer legions. 2 of these packs, and you could build 8, 10, 9 guys. You got so many options. Yeah.
Mike says it confused me too. I had to send a text message to Mike. I was like, "You get 1 of ABC. You get 2 of ABC." Miko says zombies, new legions, of course. Yes, and I don't like skeletons, but I might be swayed by the sort of undead element going on here. Maybe not. I'm on the fence. I'm there too, but I think just down to how much stuff you get in this and how versatile this pack may be.
It looks cool.
Yeah, man.
I'm also looking at the
great chains.
I'm also looking at sort of the different builds and sort of what you could potentially do with this. You could use all this stuff and sort of remove the zombie stuff, remove the ghost stuff, and build this into a human figure or an elf figure or whatever you wanted. Really, it doesn't have to remain undead.
But see, this is where it kind of gets me though, because I take a look at the 4 of them. I'm like, yeah, I need at least 3 of them to make it work. Otherwise, right? You're like I just can't get 1 and then swap it around. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I was going to say I would like less stuff and a little bit cheaper so I could get more, but then it's not as good. Then what's the point, right?
Does anyone want to trade spirit parts for zombie parts? Because I would love some zombie parts.
So what if this guy comes out at AS6 plus, and he's just a body or something like that?
Yeah,
I don't know, something, right?
Yeah.
Probably not.
I think you could, but and that's the other question. So this is the new skeleton body because
did we lose Adam?
Did we lose
Adam?
We did. Yeah, I think he did.
Was it something I said?
I think his mustache just weighed him down. He fell off the thing. The one thing I got to say about the new skeleton body type is that it definitely makes me more likely to pick them up, because the old like 2.0 skeleton,
Yeah.
to try to pose them or get them to stand, they drive me bonkers. Like they really do.
Why?
Yeah, like the like Morgulith and like the
the
version
2.0.
2. Yeah, the 2.0.
Oh,
The
sorry,
ankle joint, man. They just fall like crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the
not like the
deluxe
Malleus
builder
stuff. Yeah, no.
Okay, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, really?
Yeah, because those are, and like their hands are so small, they don't like they warp
Yeah.
really easily. They don't, so those they bother me. But this new buck for the skeleton, I think holds a lot of promise.
Yeah.
Ray, can you take us over to I think it's Maxilius, the Harvester, aka the Grim Reaper?
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I have no control of.
Oh, sorry.
Do you guys?
Yeah, I mean it's next, so we can absolutely.
Oh, Adam left, and I was like, I guess we're just gonna keep going.
Maxilius the Harvester, the Grim Reaper figure. I think everybody was really excited when we saw this picture. So full skeleton under sort of a Grim Reaper's robe. Yeah. And then you also get sort of that Necronominus version where you get the sort of bone armor, sort of amulet with the hourglass, as well as the wings on the back, which looks pretty wild. Like this is. Now, I don't know how this is going to fit, whether this is going to peg in or whether this is just going to sort of fit over the figure, because we didn't get to see the back of the cloak. Now, I don't know if there's anybody in the comments that may be able to shed some light onto whether or not there's holes in the soft goods or not. But another thing that's really cool is that you get the alternate head. So there's this sort of skeleton.
It looks like it's all one piece too. Like from the wings to the front to the necklace, it's all one big piece.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it just hangs on him. It looks like
the armor thing. Yeah,
it's got that little chain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look at the jaws, like the bone jaws to like make the that's Facebook user Jay said that he's just going to get a whole bunch of these. And that's all he wants.
Wow, really, eh?
He said that this is without a doubt his favorite in the line.
So, guys, I'm not a huge skeleton guy, but I was trying to get a couple of my friends because they're big skeleton.
Oh, there he is.
Guys.
Facebook.
Matt.
If you go to the picture with it's just a skeleton, bear skeleton.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little bit thicker than usual. And I know they went over it. And, like, I'm not a huge fan of, like, how, like, is big boned. But what are people's thoughts on it?
He's big boned, Ray. Don't judge him.
Yeah.
He's big skin, right? He's big skin. His bones be the same size.
It kind of looks a little bit like those Black Velvet stage productions where you have a guy in a black suit and they paint it on, right? Because he's a little bit thicker, right? Like when I look at this, I expect him to start dancing and but
like there's a guy inside there.
Yeah, but I mean the one thing, like I said, like I mean it doesn't look as skeletal as like some of the like the storm ones or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is though is like like again, if it's right now the only sort of like full bone version we have is 2.0 and they suck. I mean they look nice, but you can't do anything with them. And if this is the compromise, okay. I mean I'm willing to give it a shot and see.
No, I hear you.
So I don't think you can see it. You can't see it in this one, but let me just skip back because I noticed this when I was looking at this guy. Was it this one? Where did I notice it? I think inside the rib cage there's
organs and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I think there's like, you know, they need something to plug the arms and stuff into. So I think there's like a solid piece inside.
You gotta see. I see what you're saying now. Look at that skeleton picture again. It's there.
It's somewhere. I saw it in one of the pictures somewhere. I can't remember where it was now. But yeah, like there's I think there's more to it, and I think, you know, credit to the sculpting. It looks like a skeleton, but it looks like it's going to be really hardy and not fragile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't look like it's going to be flimsy and kind of fall apart. And like the 2.0 ones, you know, are problematic. But I think this looks fantastic.
Yeah, but the thing is, with a skeleton though, it's not like you're like we all probably have the same skeleton frame, but then it's like we have muscle on all this, we have fat and all that stuff, right? And that's why with like the skeletons, pretty much all our skeletons are the same, because it's like that's my thing, and that's what my friends who were, I told them like, hey guys, this might be you're into like Mythic Legions, right? Because you know, it's skeletons, right? And they're like, I know, but I mean, like to them, like, and to myself too, like I think the you mentioned it, what's it called? Those guys from Storm Collectibles, right? And I'm like, damn, if I had to like a skeleton figure, it'd be that, or like the new Foosh skeleton figures. The new Foosh
ones are.
They're kind of cool.
They're gonna be more like, or even the boss fights,
the boss fight ones, right? And I'm like, damn, but I wish, right? But I don't know.
This one will be the one that I think wins out in the end, because I just think that generally speaking, this is going to be the sturdiest and the hardiest. And some of those other ones, like as soon as you get really thin like that, articulation becomes a problem. The joints become a problem. You know, hands fall off because they're just not engineered to be as sort of posable.
Yeah, but I also think though too that this is very much a Four Horsemen thing, because when you look at how they develop, you know, like He-Man over the years, and this, like they're not a 6-head tall figure, like they're not realistic proportions, like they have their own aesthetic, and like this fits into their aesthetic, where oddly enough the old 2.0 skeletons was not something that aligned with how their general look went. So really to me, point. This brings it more into the Four Horsemen's house as far as how it's designed. Either you like it or you don't. So
Mike makes a good point too. I think it's mainly the shin bones that look the chunkiest. That's because, you know, to get them to stand up, you can't put them on pinner little shin bones. And then have all that weight. I don't think you could get the knee joint and the ankle joints to work properly. That was sort of what I was alluding to, right? Is if you want this guy to stand. But that being said too, I don't know how many people are going to just have a bare skeleton on their shelf.
Like, that's exactly it. Yeah.
You're going to display it in one of those other two versions. You're going to display it as a Grim Reaper. Or you're going to display it as Maxilius. So. I think it's definitely one of those situations where we're nitpicking something that's fantastic and sort of going like, well, the skeleton's a bit chunky, but you're not buying a skeleton. You're buying, more stuff than that.
Yeah. I'm never going to display mine with just, but to be fair, like I'm looking at the Deluxe Builder skeleton.
Yeah.
And I think is it the exact same like skeleton, or is it this one thing?
I think the existing parts, I think the existing parts are what we've had before.
Yeah.
It's just the torso and the shin bone and the feet.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's confusing my brain and a lot of people's brain, is because it has armor parts to kind of cover it up. I'm like, all right, that kind of makes sense, right? But I'm looking at the bones, like it's like a thick, that's a thick arm bone, right?
Yeah.
And that's like a pretty. Yeah. It's not definitely not the thigh bones. It's in that knee section area, because it's pretty skinny, right? So maybe in hand it'll look pretty good. Who knows?
I can definitely see this being one of those ones where people buy multiples to actually sort of set them up the way that they've done it in this picture, though. Too, I could see buying 3 of them,
$37,
so that you have
that's
skeleton.
The price is great.
As a reference point. Yeah, this is a standard figure too. So you've got, you could have just a basic skeleton on the shelf. You could have your Grim Reaper on your Figura Obscura shelf, and then you could have your Maxilius figure in your sort of Necronominus or your baddie shelf, depending on sort of how you go.
Baddie shelf.
In that respect.
I've actually got to take off, boys, but I'll leave you guys to finish it up in fine form.
Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, Gregster.
Thanks, boys. Have a good one.
Next up, we had Sir Zak. I think that's a lot of letters that I would never put together.
Yeah.
But it is, of course, the tribute to Greg. Greg, is that right? What's
I follow
it's Greg
on Instagram.
What's his last name?
He's like a good buddy of mine. His last name is tough to say. It's
because it looks like that, only it's like 3 times longer than that.
Yeah, he's my like New Jersey doppelganger. He also sells cars. He's also 6'6". Like, yeah.
Is he really? In the pictures, he doesn't look that big. Like, okay,
no, man, he's same size as me.
Big.
Like,
he's
big. Yeah, that's what. It's literally.
You know why
like
he doesn't look that big in pictures? Is because he's always leaning down to fit in with the other people in the picture.
Yeah.
Johnny.
Yeah, I know he said he want to wait, but like this is for me. This is everything. Like when this came out, I think I was actually jumping up and down, and I was at work. Like I had to walk away from my computer screen for a minute and come back and like look at it again. Like an armored ogre-sized character is just like it's me. Everything I could possibly imagine. Like I'm gonna pop my custom head on this. Like this is gonna be me in Mythos. Like I love everything about it, and it's like so 40K too. Like it's a Space Marine. Like I got like. There's so many things to love, and a little splash of purple. Yeah, it's just but that hammer too. Like I got pure Super Mario vibes. Like, yeah, look at the details. Like wow, and it's so gothic. That helmet, like the way it holds the gold, and the way they do multi propellers on the visor. Yeah,
and that was Eric was even saying that. There was a very architectural approach to sort of how he was modeling this one. Mike's mentioned it in the comments there. He's just been gushing over the chest plate.
What does it say again?
It says let me just bring it up and
Divinus Imperium.
Divinus Imperium, which means divine command.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Pure Space Marine. Yeah.
So I mean, this is going back to that idea of like all these heroes being called to be knights of Aetheron, right? It's not this is an ogre. He started as a big, mean, nasty ogre, and
is he really? Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, he is an ogre. Yeah.
They said like he's an ogre. He had a dream. Aetheron visited him in his dream, purified him of all his evil. He decided to go and he tried to join up, and they said no. So he's like, all right, I'm just gonna post up out here in a little shack and pray. And then eventually, Sir Gideon's like, dude, what's up with you? Why you keep praying? And he's like, I want to join you. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna get you a big suit of armor, get you a really cool helmet, and you're in. That's it.
That's wild, man.
This is the toughest decision for me, and here's why. Because it's an ogre, I want an ogre head. I really wanted an unhelmeted ogre head to go on this.
Oh, yeah.
Because as great as this figure is, okay, all the things that I said before about knights, about helmeted knights not having enough charm for me. So for me, the ogre is what makes this guy have the charm, but it's not represented in the offering. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna spend the next couple months trying to track down an ogre head, and if I can do that, then I'll probably get this figure. But if I can't,
there's tons.
Shout out to Planetary Toy Dogs and My Action Figure Customs. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good call. You know what?
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I got mine from. Yeah.
I was thinking that I would just get like one of the ogre heads, but you're absolutely right. Why don't I just get an aftermarket head?
Yeah, I know the screaming head. It could be anything, right?
Yeah, get Greg to paint it up for you, man. He's killing it right now with his work. Yeah. Ironically, he leaves when I'm hyping him up. But yeah.
Yeah. Mike's insane bio. Yeah, this is probably my favorite bio. Like just in terms of like this bio almost contains like it's its own story contained within a bio. You know, there's there's an origin, there's sort of a middle, and there's sort of the climax of him becoming a knight by request of Sir Gideon Heavensbrand. So yeah, definitely a great figure, definitely a great bio and a character that I sort of want to get behind.
Yeah.
But not having any ogres, it feels weird to get a knighted, like a fully armored ogre before I get another ogre.
If you need an ogre, I got you, Adam. I got an extra. I think I have 5 or 6. So if you need an extra one, I've got one.
Sheesh.
Don't tempt me like that. I need more figures. Like I don't know what, but Mike said that's a good head for it, Johnny. I want to see the Johnny head on it for sure.
It's happening, bro. Like, yeah, it's only going to be a matter of time.
Alex does make a good point.
Nice.
For a skeletal ogre head he comes with, so that is a good point. He does come with an unhelmeted head. It just happens to be a skeleton head, which kind of doubles down on the things that I don't like rather than things that I do like.
Ogre skeleton confirmed, though, right, guys? You know, the head sculpt's already done.
The head sculpt's already done.
They just paint this armor gray, take off the chest piece, put a new custom chest piece on, and boom, you're done with some.
Yeah.
We also know that they're not shy to go full skeletal, but we'll get to that shortly too. Jim said "Dusk till dawn, keep it Canadian." Yeah, that's a good shout too. Those guys.
Oh, my bad, Jim. Yeah.
And they've got really good sculpts in the store. I bought in a few custom pieces and I haven't done anything with them, so I'm not buying more just yet. Trevor said the ogre head would have to be a bit less aggressive looking to fit the backstory of the character. Yeah, I'm looking at like the Urzok. Is it Urzok? Is the ogre giant?
Yeah,
that was the head that I was sort of looking at that I thought would work really, really well. That would work. I mean, that ogre head would definitely work. I mean, the backstory is that he was nasty and mean, and you know, I think that could be reflected in the head sculpt that you use. He's not mean now, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't look mean.
Yeah.
I don't know. That hammer looks pretty mean. Yeah.
But it
looks like a good guy hammer.
It looks very
a good guy.
I don't want to get hit by it, but it looks like he would do it with love. He would smash you with love. It would.
God bless you.
You deserve it. You'd really have to deserve it to get smashed by that hammer. But the soft goods.
I see that. Woo!
That chainmail.
Just looking
underneath the chainmail.
Yeah, look at the character. Look at the little like artisanal details, like the gold with the purple. Oof. Yeah.
And it's you know, another nitpick. I wish there was a different foot.
Yeah.
I wish it, because this foot makes me think of like the Arethyr in the orcs and stuff like that. So his feet are a little too evil.
Well, maybe it was like a gate, man. You want to keep any of your old armor, and it's like, okay, can I like keep my shoes or something?
No, they're like
they probably got the wrong shoe size. They're like, dude,
they're like,
nah,
screw it. Here, I'll keep my old shoes.
Yeah. Do you have any size 24s? Yeah, no. Okay.
We ran out of metal making your giant hammer, your giant pauldrons, your giant armor. You're gonna have to just spray paint your shoes. And he's like,
paint them white. You'll be fine. No one will know. No one's looking at your feet, bro.
Somebody was mentioning, I think it was last week when we were chatting, somebody was mentioning that they liked sort of the white pearlescence of Sir Ignatius.
Yeah.
Pearlescent, but I think it's white.
Yeah, candy colorish. Yeah,
like I think it's I like when you kind of like if you look at the contrast of the hammer to like the hand.
Yeah, it looks white. Yeah, Ignatius has a little gold glow, like a mineral white.
Yeah.
This is like an alpine. Yeah.
But this is, I think this is going to look, I think this is going to be one of those sort of sleepers. No, I don't. I think lots of people love this one. What I mean is, I don't know that people are going to fully appreciate it until this is in hand.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm going to make 2 of these. I'm going to have one of these for the Mythic Legions and one for Cosmic. This guy's just going to have the biggest Gatling gun he can have.
Oh, yeah.
It's true. It's true.
After that, we did. Well, I'll do the horse first, and then we'll go to Necronominus. They did it in the reverse order.
No B name, no Bonibus or something. It's Conibus. Yeah.
Conibus.
Yeah, Conibus.
Conibus.
Yeah.
Cannabis.
Look at that armor. All I see
I
is
know.
the armor.
The armor, but full skeleton. I mean, a lot of people, including myself, I thought they might go like ghost horse. I thought they might do like a translucent or semi-translucent, where some of it was translucent, but then they sort of painted over some other parts.
Okay.
But they went all in, and they went full skeleton. And this is again where, like, if you look really closely, there's more to it than just the bones. But then the armor looks fantastic, like the plate, the sort of plates on the back, the plates on the neck.
Take this plate with that the helmet piece from Arethyr's horse, and then you've got almost full armor for a nice horse. You deck out a Balius with that, or that black horse from the Horseman.
Yeah. Barbarian horse, bro.
Yeah. Let's add some fur onto the saddle. You're done.
Yeah.
And again, like I'm like the detail around the harness, the bridle. I don't know what any of it, but like the sort of neck collar piece, for lack of a better word. There's like bits of metal and straps and bones and skulls and like all kinds of crazy stuff. And like, he's got a skull on his skull with a whole bunch of bones, like just so much detail. The attention to detail is what really, really kind of knocks this one out of the park. And again, I don't think these pictures are necessarily doing this justice, because there's so much going on here that just like every Mythic Legions figure, you get it in hand and you go, oh, I didn't notice this. I didn't notice this. I didn't notice this. But 100%. Yeah, I mean, phenomenal piece. And really, the thing about this is that he's the mount for possibly the best of the four horsemen. What are you guys' thoughts on Necronominus himself?
He's definitely the fanciest.
The fanciest.
Like this guy's got a lot of like he flaunts his gear. Like I like it.
But I thought Arethyr, would be kind of like the most badass, but this guy, they confirmed it, that they all kind of like step aside. They're like, all right, bro, you're the guy.
They said they all although there is no leader of the four horsemen, they all defer to Necronominus, being that all of their sort of war, famine, and thirst or hunger, war, famine,
pestilence.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
All just lead to death, and he is the horseman of death.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense. Like it's a logical sort of way to look at it.
Yeah.
It's huge. Those wings. I think those wings. We're thinking of wings that we've seen before.
Yeah.
But they were saying that these are totally new. These are totally different. They're bigger. They're wider.
Yeah.
There's multiple joints in them too. So they were mentioning that they will drape over the figure. Like you can fold them over the front of him.
I would. Yeah. I was thinking about that. I think I'd probably do that. Yeah.
Can you zoom into like the palm of it almost? Yeah. You can see it actually has like
here
little hinges.
There's a joint here.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
And I think what they were saying was these are skeleton bone limbs. These aren't like the wings that we're used to.
Yeah.
No,
these are like much more functional, much more posable. So you can essentially like bend it forward at this joint here and then sort of fold it across his chest on the top ball joint there. And again, since we're here, look at this. There's wings, there's skeletons, there's bones. Underneath the bones on the head there are wings. Like feathered wings. Like
it's just insane amount of detail.
The detail on the soft goods. So I think each of these strips has like graphic printed on it.
Wow.
And wired. Oh wow.
And on top of that, I think they said this, and I think I heard this correctly. It's darker at the top, and it kind of fades as it goes towards the sort of tattered ends, which like design wise is just, man, like they're just adding so many layers of detail and just so many cool specific little things that people won't even necessarily notice, but you know, until you have it in hand, like I said. And there we go.
This guy's $60. Wow.
We have our fact checker in the house. This is fantastic. But this is why I wanted to have, you know, you guys on the video, because
it should always be on the show, Keithlin.
You know what, and this is like, I feel like we could do this whole episode again and just talk about soft goods, like, because there's so many and they look so good, and they're like, they just blow my mind, and they're all wired, they're all posable. Like, we see them in one static pose because it's a picture, but you know,
on
do
Trevor's pick.
I remember I think that Elf Ranger cloak you guys did. I bought it from Heroes World, and that thing was probably the best cloak I ever had for an action figure. So like, I'm just looking forward to all the stuff you guys are unveiling with Legions, because it's insane. I
need one of those Elf Ranger cloaks. But anyway,
it was amazing. It even had a little clasp. Like, it was crazy.
I mean, Necronominus was sort of the last reveal, and like, Keelan says, really? That's awesome. Yeah. They also did, shout out to them, and I missed this one because I was sort of late to the party, but they did if you guys have seen Dragon Ball Super Broly, when Goku and Vegeta go to the Arctic and they've got those parkas on, they did them and they look fantastic.
Oh, no way.
Oh, yeah?
Amazing. But that was, you know, a previous release, so they're all sold out. But anyway, check out their stuff. They have their own store where they sell their stuff. Their stuff is phenomenal.
That
you know,
new Vita set,
lines and different
with
stuff.
the sandals.
The sandals, exactly. All figures, the silver and gold bits around the head are removable. They compare the removable headpiece to the removable face plate on Arethyr, so maybe we'll get a surprise. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, right? That grill over Arethyr's face is removable. So I think there's, like I said, you know, you get these in hand and all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't know about this little detail or whatever. Just absolutely phenomenal wave, phenomenal figures. You know, we kind of made light of like nobody came for the hands pack and the weapons pack, but when they revealed those, I was like, those are pretty awesome.
I like the new shields. I'm not gonna lie.
The new shields are phenomenal. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I like that shield sort of carrying over in like the non 3D version is carrying over. So the knight, as well as like Elijah and Adalric, all come with
even the 3D one, you can pop it off, and I think there's like a normal shield underneath. Thank goodness, because like it's just, like you said, it's just really big and bulky. But I plan on like I'll have those in like a throne room kind of thing in the back, or like at the at raised bar.
Exactly. You could have like a banquet hall where you had all the faction shields.
Yeah,
that was actually my very first thought when I saw that Laodicea shield. I was like, oh, I hope we get all of them, because I'm gonna play them, separate from the figures. Which means you have to get
biggest regrets
the figures that comes with those too, right? So
I had a chance at that banner pack for like $25, and I was like, I just don't want it. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, like, oh yeah,
I can't even find one.
No,
let alone try to buy it in a reasonable price.
And they go for hundreds now.
It hurts so bad. Yeah,
but now you don't need them because you can just buy figures that have the shields and buy an extra, and away you go. But you make a good point. They could pop off. So like the different colored shields, you can sort of mix and match the sigils to your faction leaders, and go from there. This is a good question, and I have this question, and I sort of do we pose this question, or do we have that as a topic for a future show? I think that's almost a show in and of itself. We're already at an hour and 43. So yes. I think that one could go, but it's definitely a great question, and it's definitely something that has been going through my head. And I have an answer to that question, but I will not give it tonight. My favorite Johnny, you already said that Sir Zach is your favorite.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to practice that one so that I'm not making it sound.
I was going to call it Sir Greg, but yeah.
Sir Greg. Ray, what was your favorite? Did you mention which one was your favorite?
Sir Gideon, 100%.
Sir Gideon. Agree, 100%. That figure is just
Yours too?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, without a doubt, Sir Gideon is my favorite. I was about to mention, but I totally forgot. But now that you sort of hold it up there, Johnny, and I see them, the wings on Sir Gideon's helmet, version 2,
Right.
are brand new. They didn't even reuse the existing wings
Wow.
because they wanted it to be special head to toe, and it's a standard priced figure.
Come on, man.
That
on.
is that yeah, it's bonkers. Amazing wave, amazing figures.
Just going by Instagram likes. Just going by the Instagram likes. It looks like that bone. What is it called? Tuberculi? Tuberculi?
Turpiculi.
Today, Junior. He's got 3,100 likes. And then the blue chick, Baluyeth, or whatever her name is, she's got 3,100.
Balulith. I don't know.
And I think the winner with the most likes, not that Instagram is a thing, but is that Maxilius with 3,200 likes. So it looks like everybody's pretty pumped up about that. I figure.
I think that one has the most
crossover,
cross-brand appeal.
100%.
Because you get the Grim Reaper. So like even if somebody, it's a little bit like Alder, right? Like people are like, well, I don't really collect Mythic Legions, but I really want a moose.
You need a moose.
Or the people that have bought Balius just to have a horse, just a really great horse. I think that Grim Reaper figure is going to have a lot of crossover appeal for people that aren't necessarily fans of the line, but they will be. I think it's pretty hard for people to get one of these in hand and then not get
always,
more.
Man. Yeah, it's the gateway drug, right? That whatever figure it is, right?
Me and Ray had that toy meetup, right? That Ray hosted. And everyone's like, yeah, I don't know about Mythic. And now it's like, I think, we got like 2 out of the 5. Yeah.
Yeah, we got Aaron and Matt. Yeah, those guys. So I was trying to get a couple more, but once again, the Skelly wasn't their choice, right? So
it's hard though, right? Because it's one of those things where like this is very much like one of those drug dealer things where like the first one's free. Like, yeah, we'll hook it up.
That's how I got Eddie.
You know they're coming back. You know that they're going to be, remortgaging their house or selling organs or whatever. Because as soon as you get 1 or 2 of these, it's over.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, my boss was like, "How'd you get so motivated? Why'd you sell so many cars all of a sudden?" I'm like, "Guys, you don't know. I got bills.
I gotta pay. And on that note, shout out to Micah E Collectibles, which is where we get all of our Mythic Legions. Just because it's up, I also wanted to mention that the next wave of Super 7
that basketball turtle. I don't know why, man.
I'm pumped for the Neutrino.
Who's that guy? What is it? I have no idea what turtle.
Zach the Neutrino, but there's also Slam Dunk and Don.
That's if there was a turtle that I get for some weird reason, it'd be that guy. It just looks awesome.
Slam Dunking Don.
Slam Dunk and Don. You can get a flocked Splinter as well.
All right, on.
But yeah, hit Mike up for Mythic.
Not just Mythic Legions, man. He's got everything, as you can see.
The this wave will go up, to the best of my understanding, the day after the pre-sale ends on storehorseman.com. Now, if you are in the US, I think Store Horseman is the way to go. You have until I think January 2nd. But then, start planning your order now because Mike will have them the following day. So
start signing up for overtime. Do whatever you have to do.
Start collecting bottles. Start. You can always do skip the dishes driver or Uber or whatever. I mean, you got a couple months, so
Yeah.
fair warning.
Start a GoFundMe, whatever. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Funny.
OnlyFans.
Yep.
Whatever you need to do. No judgment. No judgment here. Now we're an hour 48. The topic of best wave, I think we'll save for another day. The topic of what we might see in All-Stars 6 Plus, because they did tease that. They said the dead are not done.
Yeah.
There were too
Skeleton
many
ogre.
figures that they wanted to do. There was too many figures that they wanted to do, and they wanted to keep the sort of budget for this wave sort of where it was. So I think we can. I think it's pretty safe to expect a few All-Stars plus 5, 6, 7 figures.
Adam, do you have that Eagle Dwarf guy, Sir Valgard? Is that the one?
Do I personally have him?
Yeah, don't you have him behind you somewhere?
Yes.
Because I think that's definitely going to be the
Sorry,
one
what?
in All-Stars.
You have a Valgard?
Yeah.
Wait, who's that Valgard again?
He's like one of the rarest figures you could have. He was like a special vote one from Wave 1.
Oh, nice.
Probably retails for $600 on eBay.
Yeah, they were
Canadian
talking
dollars.
about that.
Etheron Dwarf, he was a Kickstarter exclusive.
Yeah. I
because
thought
the joke was
yeah.
there's no dwarves, right? And like everyone thought that one would get re-released. So I'm thinking that for All-Stars for sure. I hope. Yeah. I can't afford it otherwise.
Well, you can't have mine. So
Where do you live again? I'm just
far enough away that you can't.
You're safe.
That was a complete. That was just a lucky thing that happened. If I'm being perfectly honest, I'll tell the story very, very quickly. Somebody that was brand new to the line got it. I said, that's a really hard to get figure. If you were ever willing to sell it or trade it, I would be interested. And he said, well, what did you have in mind? I traded him 3 figures for that figure. And my logic was, I wasn't going to go crazy. I didn't want to like spend a crazy amount to get it, but I had figures that I had. A couple of them were even doubles, and I probably would have traded or sold them at some point. His feeling was he gets 3 figures for 1, so he's sort of building his Legions collection, and he didn't really care for that figure. So, and he got them for peanuts. What? He got like 5 figures for like $100 or something like that.
Oh,
so I think
flea market, garage sale,
angry girlfriend. What is that?
Murdered a guy.
Show, and the guy was selling off like his brother's collection or something because his brother had passed away or something like that.
Kijiji thing.
I think the guy had like figures for $25 a piece, and he was like, well, if you buy 4, I'll give you the 5th one for free.
Yeah, thanhanks, man. It hurts already. I don't want. Why'd you
it's one of those
story.
Otherwise, there's no way I ever would have had it.
Yeah.
That's the honest truth, and that's I just got extremely lucky. So, yeah, that's sort of all I got. We're
I think that's a show.
I think it's a great show. I think there's so much more we could do, right? Like we could do, is this the best wave? Which of the 4 horsemen is our favorite? What do we expect, or what do we think we might see in All-Star 6? But maybe we will save that for next time. Because if we just did it all tonight, we would never have another show to do. So on that note,
content.
Guys, so if you guys want to do your socials, Johnny, if you want to pop it out there. Oh, Ken's here. Hey, what's up, buddy? Just right on time.
Better late than never. Ken tunes in at hour 2 almost. I'm actually doing a show with Ken tomorrow morning. So if you guys are at all interested, check out Ken's channel, Toy Connections, and we're gonna do what I think is gonna be a pretty fun show tomorrow, which is vintage versus modern, where I will lay out point by point why modern is better than vintage.
Nice. I like that perspective, Adam.
anyway, Johnny, Instagram, what's your home address so that people can send you?
I live in a farm in Kelowna. My IG handles are Tamzilla Toys. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Tamzilla Toys. Yeah, if come by, I've got some fun pics. Yeah, but mostly go to Ray's page. It's way better. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Ray, where can people find you?
Figgy Smalls. What is it? Underscore Figgy Smalls. Figgy underscore. Yeah, whatever. You'll find me
as it appears on the
exactly Facebook and all that good stuff. And YouTube. I'm so sleepy.
Yeah, I got up at 6, guys. I'm dying. Yeah. I had to work on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Guys, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be on time, Ken, feel free to hit the notifications button as well, which will let you know when we are going live. Thank you guys. It's been a blast. It's always fun talking Mythic Legions and, specifically with you guys, the Knights of the North. Until next time, thanks. Bye-bye.